guys, this is Joe with FST, here with my good buddy Isaac. We're starting this video with some stuff that we've already done to the vehicle, but just to kind of give you a heads up, we're going to be running through some segments. This segment is going to be all about what we've already accomplished with the vehicle. Our next segment will run into some future steps, and we'll walk you through some of the work that we're going to be doing kind of step by step in a series of different videos. We're running with some new video equipment, so please bear with us if the angles or lighting or sound are a little bit off. Still kind of trying to pat that down for the videos. But for now, we're going to start into what we actually started with and where we are so far. We're working with the Rustler VXL platform from Traxxas. We purchased the RTR ready to run version straight out of the box. Comes with the car, the radio, batteries, and a charger. It's a very good setup right off the bat. It's not going to run you a whole lot of money, so you can get out there and start having some really good fun. Run a really fast car right off the bat, but we had higher aspirations to do other things with the cars. My personal desire for my car was to have something that could be kind of like a monster truck and also revert back towards like a race car or a buggy style whenever I wanted to. So that's kind of what I've been setting the vehicle up so far as. Starting off with the most obvious change I've done, I've got the Proline Trencher 2.8 wheels on the vehicle. Available in two different offsets, front and rear offsets are different. So with the front and rears applied as they should be, the vehicle is going to have a nice straight or parallel look to the wheels, kind of like a regular car would have. I've seen some people who have run opposite offsets or the same offset on each, and that will just kind of change the way your wheels set. One will be wider than the other or whatever. I didn't really want that look, so I went with the proper offset for it to give it that. So lots of meaty tread, good traction. I've run in a lot of different conditions: grass, sand, pavement, dirt, gravel. It hooks up everywhere I go. Getting into some other external mods. On the front, we're running the RPM front skid plate style bumper on my vehicle. They do have a couple different bumpers from RPM. I chose this one because it kind of allows me to go back and forth between that buggy look that I was wanting to do, so it leaves me open to more options without having to change out so many parts. On Isaac's car, he has the other RPM one, which is the more truck or truggy style bumper. A little wider, a little taller, and it has a little brush guard look to it, so it would look really cool on a monster truck. So I guess it kind of just all depends on what look you're going for or what you plan on doing with the vehicle. On the back of the vehicle, again going with RPM. I really love their parts. They're very affordable, very cheap parts. They're a lot more durable than the factory Traxxas parts, so went with the RPM rear bumper. This is the same bumper set for both front and rear that you could find and use for the Slash vehicles, the Slash two-wheel drive setup. It's a great setup, very easy to install, and I've put this thing through a lot of tribulations, and it's held up just fine. The base of the whole setup for the bumper that I chose to go with also comes from RPM. It's RPM's engine guard / bumper mount. It is hands down the best thing I've done to this vehicle so far. If you've ever run a two-wheel drive Slash, a Rustler, or a Stampede and gone off some jumps, I'm sure you've all had the same experience as I have, where that little tab pops off of the bottom of the factory mount and drags through the dirt, the mud, the gravel, the yard, and takes half of the ground with it everywhere you go, and eventually the piece just is going to snap off. I did not like that. It was really causing a lot of crashes and wrecks for my vehicle. I had to replace parts because of it, and whole 9 yards. The RPM part eliminates that entirely because there is no piece that hangs down below the chassis of the vehicle. So it's a very slick, clean install. It's thicker and more durable, and it allows you to still be able to mount other Slash two-wheel drive Rustler and Stampede parts that all have the same bolt pattern. So good little combo setup there. We're going to walk you through how to install one of those step by step on Isaac's vehicle in another segment, because he is still waiting to put his on. So we get to see the unboxing of that and put the whole thing together. So let's move to the inside of the vehicle. As we get into the inside of the vehicle, you may notice I already have something different going on top. Little screw caps here come from Proline Racing again. Pretty big fan of some aftermarket parts from different companies. They got some really good innovative ideas. But these little buggers just screw right on, so no more losing body clips in the dirt or anything. They're big and knobby and chunky, pretty easy to grab onto, and still have a nice clean look to the vehicle. You simply screw on just like anything else, and you can do it with your fingers. You don't need any tools, so very, very cool. Popping the body off, you can see the system that kind of makes that all work. Again, coming from Proline. These are their adjustable body mounts. Now you can raise and lower these quite a bit. This particular post will go up or down, give or take about 4 inches. The rear post will go up or down, give or take about 1.5 inches. And you can swap out the posts as needed to give your body that lift or that rake or whatever kind of look that you're trying to achieve, as well as wheel clearance. I personally wanted to raise my vehicle up, and like I said, I'm kind of moving towards that monster truck style look, so lifting the body up kind of fit the bill for what I was trying to do for the tire setup and the body that I have coming as well. Got the Traxxas brand big bore shocks. That kind of came as a necessity to me. Right out of the box I broke this thing probably on like the first or second big jump I took it off of. I did a lot of low jumps and held up just fine. Once I started hitting some big stuff, I blew the plastic caps right off the top of them. I tried screwing them back on, rebuilding the shocks. It did not work. I still blew them right back off again, so I knew I needed to go with something more durable. I looked at some of the options where a lot of people on internet forums were going with just an aluminum shock cap. I thought that was a pretty good idea. It's obviously a lot more durable. The downside that I saw to that is for a good set of shock caps made out of aluminum could run you anywhere from 30 to 40 bucks at most retailers, which I thought was overpriced considering you can get an entire shock build setup for just a few dollars more. So all invested for the big bores was not much more than the shock caps would have been themselves. Now I've got stainless steel, aluminum, and titanium builds, so a lot better quality parts going into it that way. Last thing that I got going on inside, just something kind of homemade I did. Again, I'm sick of losing body clips and I haven't figured out the whole Proline type screw cap setup for this, but the battery bracket that holds down the battery, these little tiny clips, I've lost them in the gravel quite a few times. So what I did is I just put a little piece of wire through them. It's wrapped in like some vinyl or latex or something, so it won't rust or anything, but that way when I pop out the battery I can just slide this bugger right back in and out without losing any clips, and if I were to accidentally drop it, it's not going anywhere. So very trick little setup, something easy you can do. Chances are you probably have some similar wire laying around the house, and if you don't, it'll probably cost you like 50 cents to buy it, if not less. So that's what we've got going on so far for this car. Isaac is going a little bit different direction with his car, so you'll get to see some different modifications with his. For right now, the next segment that we're going to be rolling into shortly is going to be the body that I've got for this vehicle. Been waiting a long time to put this on. My son is a huge fan of the Ford Raptor, and he brags about how cool his truck is all the time, and I think the Raptor's a pretty cool looking truck as well. So bought a Raptor body for this, and it's been sitting around waiting to be installed for a very long time, and it's time to get it painted up and put on. So with that, we're going to close out this segment. We're going to move on to body work.